If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. And I'm about to make a call to the local geriatric ward because apparently AC/DC is alive, one, and two, still trying to produce what they call music. And of course, well, who else would they be singing about other than witches and Satan and the devil himself and highways to hell and hell's bells? Because that's all they sing about, if you want to call it singing. Now, I mean, look, I know a lot of you love when I make fun of the new current musicians because it's real trash, garbage music, but a lot of people are still righteous in their ways of, well, I grew up on music like AC/DC. Well, guess what? I grew up in the same type of time period, okay? And yeah, while AC/DC's music might sound cooler than what you hear for the crap coming out today, it's still satanic and it's still occultic. AC/DC will tell you that the name of their band stands for something to do with a sewing machine that the guy Angus saw. As far as I'm concerned, Angus needs to drop the G from his name. That's a little bit more fitting. Get it? The name AC/DC, for starters, and you have to see their new music video. Yes, new. They're still making music. And of course, it's unbelievable. I'll show you in a second. But it really stands for Antichrist, the A and the C, and the DC, Devil's Child. But they'll tell you that it's just some crazy religious people who believe that. Oh, yeah, it's crazy religious people. That's exactly why in the song Hell's Bells, not the song Hell's Bell, Highway to Hell, he says, hey, Satan, paid my dues, become a singer in a rock and roll band, playing in a rock and roll band, right? Man, no big deal. It's not talking about selling his soul or anything like that. No, of course not. And then, of course, we had the old infamous quote from one of the members of the band who said, I believe this is Angus, who said, by the time we're halfway through the first number, someone else is steering me. I'm just along for the ride. I become possessed when I get on stage. But, it's figure of speech, right? Because we're all talking figure of speeches around demonic possession. Because we all feel possessed. Yeah, I feel possessed when I'm dropping a deuce. That's about it. I mean, this is ridiculous. And no, I don't really feel possessed when I am. Point being is that who says that other than these people who are in the occult? Now, the newest song, you might ask, what's it called to call? What could it be about? Oh, it's called Witch's Spell. Oh, my goodness. How original, right? All these fans, witches, God's a woman, praising Satan, Satan giving lap dances to people. Welcome to 2021. I mean, AC/DC's only been doing it since the 70s. And like I said earlier, I mean, can you even believe this band is still trying to produce what they're calling music? Have you heard the lead singer's voice? That's what he sounds like. Seriously, no joke. I'm not even trying to be funny. It's frightening. All right, so let's look at this real quick. So this is a song called Witch's Spell. Somehow has 90,000 thumbs ups because people, and I made sure to give it a thumbs down, because people, they grew up, they're still kicking, they're still going. Nobody sees what they're singing about and talking about. Hell's Bells, Highway to Hell. You have the album cover with the satanic devil horns on them. Every time these guys get a chance to go on stage, this guy Angus here holds up the devil horn signs. You have the lightning bolt in the logo. Of course, the lightning bolt is from Luke chapter 10, verse 18. I saw Satan falling from the sky like lightning, referencing Satan being thrown down to the earth, coming down to the earth. And of course, I just covered a Pink song. Not many people saw the video, but a Pink song, same thing, right? They always show somebody falling from the sky, and people are just like, "Oh, cool." What are you thinking? They're jumping out of a plane? I mean, we wish, without a parachute. No, they're showing Lucifer's fall. So the AC/DC even has the lightning bolt in it, and you'll see clips from the lightning bolt in the video. So let's get to the video. You got one of these witches. Of course, the witch is looking into one of her crystal balls. Maybe the band AZ should be looking into the crystal ball, because they might have made a deal with the devil, but the clock's ticking. These guys are pushing 90. So the deal's about to be up. The crystal ball says so. So you see the witch's hat, right? We're supposed to think this is all, oh, it's cutesy, it's artsy, it's so original. We don't hear about witches every single day in every Disney movie and every single show they produce about spells geared towards kids and magic and magical powers and genies. From that to Harry Potter and to all these other ridiculous shows. You get the witch even. It looks like the witch might need a Bic razor as well. It looks like she's got a stash over her lip, holding the finger up to her mouth. No, I guess she thinks there's a big secret. And no, we know you probably did fart, but the secret is their oath of silence. The witches and Satanists take an oath of silence, but the gig is up, because people like me, with eyes to see and ears to hear, and the people who follow this channel, you're not hiding anymore, okay? You're doing it in plain sight, and those of us with brains can see the signs and symbols. So why don't you just take your finger away from your mouth and shove it somewhere else, okay? So that's the vow of silence that you see. Then they roll into the song here. You can see this creepy, of course, by the way, Angus here, Anus, he loves to dress in schoolboy outfits. Wonder what that could be referring to. Oh, it's just his preference to dress in what is known as schoolboy attire. Oh, it's his gimmick, Call. It's what he knows. No undertones to that, since we know what the occult is into. And of course, you can see all the sigils behind him. You see satanic sigils. I'm not going to break each one down. I've done it so many times. But, you know, it's a book of spells and sigils. And you'll see these sigils tattooed on many of your favorite celebrities. You could even see the lightning bolt in there, the crescent moon, which is always seen in occult practices. You see it with the Baphomet. Of course, the pentagram with a cup, probably mocking the cup of the covenant. No, it's probably actually a cup that probably would be filled with Phoebe's blood. That's right. Then you see them on the tarot cards, right? You got the tarot card with the lightning bolt again. They can't get enough lightning. These guys spend their off time when they're not producing horrible music. They go out and they thunderstorm chase, kind of like the guys in the movie Twister, chase the tornadoes. Yep, they just can't get enough thunderstorms and lightning. That's why they hang out when they're off time with Marilyn Manson, David Bowie when he was still here, Lady Gaga. They all love lightning, so don't judge them, folks. No one loves snow, just lightning. Guess they don't like the cold. Then you see more of the tarot cards. You get some guy named Cliff. I mean, this guy's been smooching with everybody. Leo, Boney Baps, you know what I mean? He was smooching with your brother. Cliff, apparently, this dork in the band. Of course, on the tarot card, no idea who he is. Who even knows? They just replace these people day and night. You see the witch doing the spells, obviously, with her hand in the tarot cards. They love promoting this stuff. And I'll tell you one thing. I see so many Christians talking. Look, I don't do on my channel, I don't talk about Christians. And other than, lukewarm Christians, I say, stuff about Christians being lukewarm, needing to step up. But there are way too many Christians who are like, into they're like, oh, I'm into the astrology. I'm a Cancer. Yeah, you're a Cancer, all right, to Christianity. This stuff with New Age Christianity pretty much is what it is. Using stones, going and getting psychic readings. Hi, have you read the Bible? Yeah, you probably don't want to do that, okay? That's not a good sign. But Christians, they think all this stuff is just like, oh, well, my fortune, what do they call it? My reading for the month says I'm going to meet someone tall, dark, and handsome. Yeah. You're getting involved in, all sorts of witchcraft, and you don't even realize it. Oh, man, it drives me nuts. Anyway, let's continue. You see obviously the tarot cards, you see the sigils, you see the crystal ball, you see the old flames here. And by flames, I mean farts. You see, of course, Angus in his child clothing. That's the stuff you see. Of course, you get the lyrics, right? What are the lyrics called? Well, they're pretty ridiculous as far as being completely stupid and a waste of time, but we'll read them anyway. Why? Well, because that's what this video is for. All right, so he says, it's pretty much a spell, and that's what I say about music. People need to get a clue. Most music is about spell. There's actually casting spells on you, especially, the most natural thing someone does when they hear music is they sing the lyrics to the song. And that's not a fault of their own, because that's how mind control works. The repetition of constantly hearing a song on the radio, whether you end up liking the song or not, I always tell people this, like I remember growing up, or I guess I was pretty old, but anyway, hearing songs on the radio, like let's just say hypothetically in your 20s, you hear like NSYNC on the radio 50 times in a row, okay? no one likes NSYNC. I mean, let's be real. But the lyrics, you constantly hear it. The song gets stuck in your head. So the next time you hear it, you're probably saying the lyrics to yourself, even if it's in a mocking tone. Well, guess what? You're saying a spell because the lyrics are spells. Yes, they are. When they're talking about love and these things in the songs, they're not talking about their ex-boyfriend. They want you to think that because they want you to recite the spell. If they were saying, hey, I'm eating the Vitas, and I'm doing, well, then people might wake up, and they don't want that. So here, I'm not going to read the lyrics because I'm not going to give you, say, a spell. But, the lyrics just revolve around getting caught in a witch's spell, got a tale to tell. Yeah, I'm sure the AC/DC has a very deep tale to tell about the stuff they've been involved in. And he talks about riding on moonbeams and the night sky and the witch's flight. Right? And everybody hears it and they're just like, oh, it's just a cute little song about Halloween. Boy, I often wish I was alive 200 years ago. I would have loved to be involved in some of these, when the witches, people went after the witch. Oh, that would have been fun, And I'm not saying I would have went as far as most people went from what we know. But man, I would have loved to be involved, that's for sure, because I can't even call witches out anymore without getting strikes. I can't even speak and talk about how embarrassing they are. So this is just a random song, of course, about witchcraft and spells with a band that worships Satan and talks constantly about hell. But that's a coincidence, too. You even have an album cover where they have the Masonic pillars on the album cover. Those pillars there represent the Freemasonry, the pillars in Freemasonry, which represents strength and beauty, they like to tell you. It represents a lot of things, and it's not good. But, of course, they're not involved in the occult or anything like that. Anus over there isn't dressed up like a schoolboy because it's fake. Oh, yeah, it is, of course. He's dressed up as a schoolboy because every day's Halloween for him. So another embarrassing band, more witchcraft, comes out right in time for the solstice, of course, and got to wonder when this band's going to retire. But I guess they said, look, we'll let you continue to make whatever this crap you call music, but just make sure you constantly talk about Satan and the devil and witchcraft so you can indoctrinate the masses. And that's what they do. So in time for the solstice, a little more filth from AC/DC, who's just cashing their what are they? They are just storing up their treasure in hell, I guess, at this point. I want to remind everyone to check out the website at callfornuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. I've got plenty of new content coming up this week here on YouTube and on the website. And I want to remind people, please consider becoming a Patreon if you're not, and you can become one, of course, not if you can't become one. It helps me produce more content here. I've been rolling out tons of content in the last month, kind of like the old days when I first started. I've been very motivated at it feels closer to the end here, I feel more motivated to do everything I possibly can to try and wake some people up, hopefully help them pick up their Bible and realize we're in spiritual warfare. So Patreons help go a long way. You help me stay on YouTube, which helps find new people to help wake up. So please consider becoming one if you're not. I want to thank everyone for your support. Thumbsing up the videos goes a long way, watching the ads. Thanks for being here, everybody. More garbage. This time, AC/DC continuing to make music out of their anus, literally, because that's what it sounds like. Whew, witch's spell. What a joke. Thanks for being here, everybody. God bless you and your families.